Breaking news, guys. The Philadelphia Eagles figured out you can put two running backs on the field at the same time for the first time in the 2020 season. All right, y'all. Obviously, I'm being a little humorous here. We're going to talk about personnel groupings. Right? I'm going to tell you how often we played 11 man, how often we played 12 man. We're going to go in depth, guys. All right, y'all. Let's get it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching us. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. Hey, guys, the first thing I want to say here is I want to thank you guys for yesterday. So many of you guys chimed in, shared your experiences, your losses. You know, YouTube gets a lot of bad rap, guys, for a lot of things that are probably justified at times. But I wish there was more stories like what happened yesterday where I shared my loss with you guys. You guys made me feel a heck of a lot better. Some of you guys kind of pulled at the heartstrings a little bit with your stories. I was so, my condolences go out to some of you guys as well. Some of you guys have faced much harder hardship than I have. But I want to thank you guys. I mean, I owe you guys, man. Like, losing Jasmine, which was my dog, in 12 years, like, one of my best friends, like, it hurt. So, I really do appreciate y'all. All right, y'all, today's topic. We're going to talk about the personnel grouping frequencies for the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. So, just so we'll go on a kind of a broad painted stroke here to begin with, guys. Let's talk about on the season, okay? So, for the season, 11-man, 43%. 11-man, guys, the way this works, if you're not familiar, is the first one stands for your running backs. The second one stands for your tight ends. Then you got to do your math to figure out your receivers. 11-man means 3 wide receiver sets, okay? 12-man, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, obviously 2 receivers, 52% of snaps. 21-man, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 receivers, 2% of snaps. 13-man, obviously 1 running back, 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, 1% of snaps. 22-man, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, 1% of snaps, and 0 personnel. 0 personnel being 0 running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, 1% of snaps, guys. That is the variability of this offense that Doug Pederson has put together so far for the 2020 season. The underlying thing here is a lot of our schematic changes, I think, have more to do with altering the game plan due to injury and availability of players more than creativity, I would say. I could be wrong, and if you guys feel I'm wrong, chime in, let me know where you think, hey, in this one instance or in this one moment, this one game, I think that this wouldn't have mattered, that they were going to do this. Cool, I'll hear you out, guys. So let's talk about where we rank in the league with some of this stuff. You guys know I always break stuff down to an extreme level that's just not normal and probably unnecessary. So, 12-man. We played the most 12-man in the league so far. And mind you, we've been on a drastic decrease. That just tells you how much we played 12-man week 1, week 2. So, Philly, number 1 in the league with 52%. The next teams behind us, who are tied for second, are Arizona and Cleveland. Arizona and Cleveland both played 12-man, 30% of snaps. And then, since technically they're tied for second, I'll give you the third team, which is Tampa Bay, with 28%, guys, in 12-man. So Eagles leading that by a very large margin. We're 22 points. 22 points ahead of the next, 22% ahead of the next team. If we look at this in terms of 11-man, we've played this the 5th least among teams in the NFL, okay? I'm actually a little shocked we're not we haven't played it the least amount. So, I mean, hey, we're not in the last on this. So, the teams that have taken the fewest snaps out of 11-man, all right? Cleveland, 35%. Green Bay, 36%. San Francisco, 39%. Minnesota, 42%. And Philly, 43%. You guys already know the story of why Cleveland and Philly are low, right, on 11-man personnel, because we're high on 12-man. We discover that. But you might be asking yourself, if Green Bay, San Fran, and Minnesota are all ahead of Philly, and they weren't on that list of 12-men, then why are they running so little 11-men? What is it that they're doing? They're doing the thing that I've been asking Doug Pederson to do all season, and he finally got around to last week against San Francisco, which is play a little two-back sets. So, two-back sets. Who leads the league? Number 1, San Francisco, 46% of snaps. They play more two-back sets than we... Well, no, that's not true. They play almost as many two-back sets as we play 12-man sets. Just to tell you how much Shanahan likes that two-back set formation. Because this league... Well, this isn't a copycat because Minnesota's always been a two-back system too recently. So Minnesota is next at 35%. Okay? Baltimore, 33%. Baltimore is the one I think some teams are trying to emulate with this two-back set and Lamar Jackson. I think you're going to see some people trying to emulate that offense. And I think San Francisco, obviously, is another one. Like the first 3 teams I just named you, San Fran, Minnesota, and Baltimore, I think are the poster boys of two-back sets. And then these next 2 teams, they've done it. Like all right, so number 4 is Green Bay. Green Bay, I think, is absolutely trying to emulate. They're trying to emulate a combination of like San Francisco and Baltimore into their offense. They are 4th right now, 32%, 1% behind Baltimore. And then the next team, which is New England, which New England does play a lot of two-back set. They've done that traditionally, but they do have a lack of wide receiver personnel. So it doesn't shock me that they would lean heavily into running back sets. We have seen in previous seasons that Bill Belichick will play this two-back set. So I don't know where you put New England. They're kind of like they flirt with it, then they go away from it, then they flirt back with it again. They're one of those type of teams. So New England, 29%, guys. It's interesting to see the way some of this stuff, worked out. So if you look at Philadelphia, right? So let's just look at week 4. Like, what did we do in week 4 in terms of, that was the league. That's where everyone stands at the league. So what happened week 4 against San Francisco? How did Doug scheme this game? And then what does that tell us about our personnel? That's what I was trying to lead into, and I realized, I haven't told you guys about last week. 11-man. We played 60% of snaps from 11-man, right? Obviously, Dallas Goedert going down is going to lead to more 11-man. Travis Fulgham, hey, man, I made that video Sunday before the game. I knew Travis Fulgham was going to be better than JJ, like just judging his route running, what I saw from him in camp using his hands. I couldn't get a ton of footage from him in camp. I had to really fish the internet to find film on the kid. But nonetheless, man, I knew he was going to stand out because I could see in his route running a little bit I could break down it. He was just better than JJ. Just straightforward. So 60%. 12-man, 26%. That doesn't shock me. I know the Eagles like, the fact that we're still playing 26% 12-man just tells you how much we like that formation. We like that alignment. They like, Richard Rodgers too, guys. I mean, Richard Rodgers has been sticking around this club for 3 years now because, they wanted him so badly in 2018 and he got hurt. And then last year, it didn't really work out because of injuries. So this year, now they're finally getting a chance to get him on the field. I think they really like the front office and the coaching staff likes Richard Rodgers a lot. 21-man. We played 9% of our snaps out of 21-man. 22-man. So 21-man being 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 receivers. Okay, then 22-man being 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, 5% of snaps. So add that together, guys. 14% of our snaps were played out of 2-back sets. 26% of our snaps were played out of 2 tight end sets. And then 60% of our snaps were played out of 3 wide receiver sets. Okay? There was some versatility here, right? We had some versatility to the offense last week. We can talk about why that happened. In my opinion, it comes down to the lack of personnel, guys. There's just not a lot of people to play. And you bring up AK, Adrian Killins, to the roster. What do you think? I mean, hey, every time I saw AK, he was doing that jet motion action. They were using him a lot of pre-snap, and they gave him one shot, I think, to try to keep the defense honest, and it went horribly wrong. He also had a catch. I think I predicted in pregame. I said he would have. I said like 5 snaps, and then I said I'll be optimistic and say he'll get 2 carries and 1 catch. He got 1 carry and 1 catch. I think I was pretty close, but I think he did get more than 5 snaps, to be honest. I can go look up the snap report, but I'm pretty sure he got more than 5 snaps. I think I was a little off there. The other thing that can skew this, guys, is I don't know how they're counting the snaps that they put Hurts in the game. Were you counting... I mean, how were you counting it? Were you counting Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts as running backs when they weren't under center? Were you counting them as receivers, tight ends? I'd really have to sit down with Sharp's football stats and talk to whoever does this and figure out how they do that. I haven't seen anyone who really justifies or explains that. That's really hard to tell. I'd have to go back through and literally watch every snap myself and count it to figure out how they did it. And honestly, sometimes I get so caught up in my own head. You guys know me. I'm likely to do that just because, I don't know, man. Sometimes I lose my mind. What can I say? That's it, guys. I mean, that's it. I mean, 11-man, 60%, 12-man, 26%, and a combination of 21 and 22-man two-back sets, 14% of snaps. That's how we attacked the San Francisco 49ers, and we walked out of there with a W, guys, with a win. Let's not lie. The defense played a big role in that. Defense turning San Francisco over, getting to the quarterback with pressure, definitely played a big role. Hey, that's the numbers. Tell me what you think down below. Were you shocked with the two-back sets? When I saw AK come up on the roster, now you got like 5 running backs, I wasn't shocked. I mean, come on, man. You can't carry that many running backs and then just not play two-back sets, or it's like, dude, what are you doing? What are your thoughts, guys? What do you think about the reduction in 12-man? Obviously, Dallas Goedert playing a role there. What do you think about the rise of 11-man? Do you think we're going to see that continue if Quez Watkins is back this week? If Alshon comes back this week? I don't know if Alshon will be back, guys. I'm not making a statement here. I don't know. But what do you guys think, man? Leave your comments down below. And you know how we end these videos, guys. We do a little E-A-G-L-E-S. All right, y'all. Let's go.